Hey, welcome to baloneybrain.com. That is my standard Chuck Barris introduction, but I am Used Toy, or in fact, John House. On another weird Wednesday, joining me, of course, is my uncle, my friend, my partner, Daryl House, or Suburban Hobo. How you doing, Daryl?
I am honored to join you once again this week, John. It's good to be here. How's it going?
I have strippers galore. That's all I got to say.
Who needs more than that? Well, listen, I got some pretty interesting stories. A couple of the stories that I have today remind me of stories we've done in the past. It's like everything old is new again. If you happen to remember, a year or so ago, there was a guy who owned an airplane, and he lived in Ohio or somewhere, but he was moving his airplane back from Florida to Ohio, and just before he headed out, he circled his house, and he looked down, and he saw some guys stealing a trailer.
I do remember that.
And he called the sheriff's office, and he's in the plane, and he's following these guys stealing his truck. So this first one kind of reminded me of that. A night at the museum. Was that the one? No, this is this one. Deputies say a trio who burglarized a home were caught after the group came back to swipe some more stuff. After the burglars struck the Winter Park home, and that's up in Seminole County, the owner arrived and found a side door had been kicked in. He calls the police. Several items were stolen. As the homeowner phoned the deputies and the burglary suspects, they came back with a U-Haul truck to get more stuff. When they realized that the homeowner was there, they jumped in the truck and they took off. Well, he gets in his car. He chases them down. All the while, he's on the cell phone with the sheriff's department saying, "No, we just turned right on Main. No, we just turned left on 32nd Street." So they arrest him. Stupid criminals returning to the scene of the crime.
I love stupid criminals.
I love them.
Well, I have Jordan Caraway allegedly leaves toddler in truck while he drinks at a strip club in Florida.
That's
Now,
news?
what makes this story so amazing is at the end of the story. This is thanks to weird news. But what makes the story amazing? At the end of the story, they have a list of people in the last year or so that have left their kids locked in the car while they went into a strip club, and all of them are Florida. And I want to know, like, is this like I've got an idea. We can have a baloney brain all night daycare. Kids can it can be huge.
I like it.
That way parents can go to the strip club because of the stories that are listed here. A lot of them. I mean, one is an NFL star. One is, I mean, there could be a lot of money in this. So
Between strip clubs and casinos, if we could, we may need a whole chain of these baloney brain daycare things. But I'm sure that near a lot of casinos there are strip clubs and perhaps vice versa.
Well, it's not all people who frequent strip clubs. Several of the stories are the strippers who leave their kids locked in the car while they go in and entertain.
I'll be back in 8 hours, honey. Just read a book. Okay, how about this? Again, do you remember this story? The original story was in Ocala a year or so ago, where some guys broke into a house and they stole 2 urns off of the mantle. They thought that they were full of drugs, and the cops got them later on. They were snorting them. They were championship dog remains. They were cremated
I
dogs.
do remember that.
Okay, so here we go. A night at the museum it was not. 3 teens facing burglary and grand theft charges after fingerprints have cracked the case. CSI. I love it. They cracked the case from stolen animal skulls and other artifacts grabbed from a nature center outside Punta Gorda. According to the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, workers at the Cedar Point Environmental Park in Inglewood found that someone had broken into the visitor center, swiped about $1,800 worth of artifacts from displays. Now, while canvassing the neighborhood, detectives found a large rattlesnake skin in front of a nearby unoccupied office building. Suspicious, you think? Inside an unlocked office, they also found several of the stolen items, including a stuffed rattlesnake body and a set of deer antlers. The CSI types found a latent fingerprint on the glass, which actually led them to a 14-year-old boy from Englewood, and it turned out that his brother was also involved. But I just, who steals deer antlers and rattlesnake skins? And
Yeah, that's kind of reaching there, eh?
deer antlers, though, isn't it an aphrodisiac? Deer antler powder or something? Maybe they were.
Maybe in China. If you're 14, I don't think you really need a lot of aphrodisiac.
Really, breathing makes you horny.
Well, speaking of horny, the Oracle Open World 2013 just got underway. But there's still some stuff that needs to be cleaned up from last year's Open World 2012. A San Francisco strip club is suing Oracle for refusing to pay a $34,000 tab that one of its employees racked up on an Oracle credit card. Now, keep in mind, this was over 2 nights. 2 nights.
Shots and beers.
$34,000? A couple of times I've got a tab and went, whoa! Never had a $34,000 tab.
Must be the craft beers. Every time I go to these craft beer places, a crappy beer is about $6.50. That's crazy. Give me a bud.
Yeah, $34,000 would be a lot of craft beer.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm guessing a lot of lap dances too.
Oh, you can charge those?
If you've got an Oracle credit card, apparently so.
Do we have a Baloney Brain credit card?
No, we don't.
Oh, well, it's a good thing, probably. We're maxed out in the first half an hour, so we're ready for my final story here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Gainesville. Assistant attorney. This is going to be your favorite story of the day. Assistant attorney accused of naked prowling. You always get the naked stories.
I love the naked stories.
Well, it may have been downright shocking for the woman to wake up and find a naked stranger in her bedroom, but perhaps not as shocking as finding out that the man arrested in the burglary case works in the city's administration. Ronald D. Combs. Ronnie Combs. Sounds familiar. Ronnie Combs. A longtime assistant attorney for the city of Gainesville. He's a gator. I guarantee you he's a gator. He was jailed after being accused of prowling in and around a woman's home while naked. Police say they used a stun gun. That's an ugly vision there. Used a stun gun. I'm going 59 years old. I'm just like, yeah. He was moving through nearby yards wearing only a skull cap and running shoes. He was arrested on charges of burglary of an occupied dwelling and of prowling and of resisting arrest without violence.
Well, that I love the naked stories, but that kind of fills my head with a lot of visions of him being like a skull cap and that.
Yeah, well, it begs the same question we had last week. Is it naked or is it naked?
Well,
because one is nude and one is just nasty.
Well, for my last story, this goes out to all my my musician friends, because you ask any musician, and you can do anything with duct tape. And in Honolulu, more than 20 purebred goats, most of them pregnant, were stolen from a Hawaii farm on a full moonlit night, using duct tape to keep the animals from making noise. So, yeah. If you're going to steal goats, you need duct tape.
This is a bad story.
Ask any musician. They'll tell you you can do anything with duct tape.
Can you get those goats to quiet down over there?
Well, that's all I've got today. How about you?
Oh, my God. That's a great... you know what? I thought the naked story was going to be the best. The duct tape goats takes the bill for We need a prize for that one. Hey, listen, folks. Thanks for joining us every week on BaloneyBrain.com for our Weird Wednesday. In case you don't know, we have a lot of fun doing this, and we're glad that you're part of the program. I'll see you, John.
We'll see you next week.